Good morning everyone, welcome back to my channel. Okay, have I done any stitching? No, all I've done is completed the flower, which I took a photo of and placed it the last video. So I've done nothing all week. It's just been a crazy week. So I thought, well, I'm still going to film and maybe we just do some more piecing. Now, if you remember rightly, I was planning on putting a bird here. And I cut him all out. So I've got him up my sleeve, which I've now placed in position down in this corner, which we'll get to in a moment. But I ended up putting a flower here, and I used the same pattern, just made it slightly bigger as I cut it out. I then added 2 more leaves, and I then went through and picked some more of those little white flowers and pink flowers from that fabric and just sort of scattered them around this area. So I'm yet to stitch all of that down. I haven't done any more embellishing of the little bird at the top there. I haven't stitched down that stem that's going to go into place there. So pretty much I've done nothing, but I figured let's turn on the camera and have a play down in this bottom corner because that's what we're going to do. There's no rules, is there? So I've just got my threads here still attached where they came down to this point. So first of all, I've put our bird into position, which we cut out in the last video, and he's now got some glue and is sitting there nicely. So what I thought we would do is position the base of this trunk. So I picked up this piece here of crocheted stem, and I just thought I'd pin that there because I'd like to do another flower coming out up here somewhere. So I thought that's what we could do. I've got my flower template somewhere here. Where is it? I didn't end up doing the bud like I was fiddling around with. I just didn't think it was needed. I think that's my little bird. Here's my flower. It sort of got a bit lost. I think if anything's going to go onto this panel, it needs to be big pieces. So yeah, that was my theory with the bud idea. That's been scrapped at the moment. So I'm just going to place these little pieces here and make sure our flower will actually work up in that corner, which it will, but looks like it. And then we can adjust the stem to sort of suit. Okay, so let's cut out one flower. So I'm thinking, where's my fabrics? I'd like a little bit more blue. There's a piece we haven't used yet. Let's cut out that. So, how's your week been? Mine's just been so busy. I always knew that this time of the year would be a bit of a challenge for me, being that I'm in the Christmas industry with retail shops. But I do have a fantastic team of staff supporting me, so it's not like I'm a lone soldier in the process. But it's just, I don't know. I guess everyone gets panicky as Christmas gets closer. Everyone gets a little panicky because everyone leaves it to the last minute. You know how it is. So everyone gets a little demanding, but it's all good. It's simple things for us. I guess overwhelming for others, especially if they find out they've got a heap of guests coming for Christmas and they want to do a little bit of decorating and then get everything they need for their parties and functions. So everyone comes in a little bit stressy, but once they see what we can do and help them with, everyone's really great. And we have a ball putting together packages whether it's table decorating or just some things to hang around the patio. Yeah, it really does come together quite quickly. And you can just see the relief. You can see the relief on people's faces when they realise that they can get everything in the one location and they're off and ready to start thinking about food and, oh goodness, the cooking. So, yeah. And there's always those last minute businesses that haven't put anything up. And you know what they usually are? Butcher shops. Butcher shops, hairdressers, you know, those types of businesses that Christmas has crept up on them because they've been so busy doing what they do. And then they look around the shopping centre and go, oh, I guess we'd better put something up for Christmas. Then they pull out all of those decorations from underneath the back cupboard and realise that they're pretty dodgy. So they come flying in the door with 10 minutes of precious time, which they really don't have because they run their own business. And I wonder if I could do 3 petals. That'd be something a bit different. Yeah, so they race in the door and they're like, please, please, I need this, I need that. So it's quite amusing at times. You can just see the stress on their faces. I'm just thinking this is like off of an edge of a quilt that I did many, many moons ago, and I'm just wondering if there's something I could pinch. Nothing jumping out at me. It's like bringing in all new colours, isn't it? What else is there in this box of tricks? So yeah, it's been busy, might I say. Busy good. And can you believe I'm starting to work behind the scenes on next year's orders? It's just crazy. I'm going to put that little bit of red in there. Yes, I am working through all of the suppliers that we import from direct from overseas, and I'm starting to request quotes. So I've got to go through everything that we ordered last year, plus maybe items that we've sold out of and could do with restocking. I might have bought 2 years worth. So all of those items need to be listed, sent over to China, and the factories quote those items for me. I then pop them into our big spreadsheet and work out if they are still viable. Maybe they've gone up in price, maybe they're no longer worth investing in for our range, or maybe I want to change them. Maybe it's a snowman that's had a black hat and a red scarf for years, and he's been a great seller, but he's starting to slow down. So maybe we make the snowman a little different. So we might change his scarf and change his hat and just change him up a little bit, make him interesting, because, you know, people collect these pieces for Christmas. So maybe we decorate him a little bit differently, and then the factory will quote the new version of the snowman. And then I start piecing together the order. So by December, I'm ordering stock for the following Christmas. It is the most bizarre thing. It's like I'm a year ahead where everyone is still doing what they're doing this year. It's bizarre. It's really hard, actually. Normally we would order in March, but because we're a small business in the eyes of China, they like my orders in nice and early so that they can get me out of the way. I'm probably an annoying customer because I'm so little. So they really like it. If I can get what I'd like over to them early, then they can get me through the production house and potentially into Australia as early as May, which is good for us because then our stores, we've got staff all year round in our stores and it gives them something to do. We're getting our stock in nice and early. We get time to decorate with it. It's not just a case of throw it onto the shelf because you're surrounded by people and it's crazy time. So we really do like our stock in nice and early. Gives us something to play with. Gives us time to take photos and put it on websites and all of the palaver that goes with it. So in order to do that, I need to get my orders in. And because of the COVID, things have changed so much because China is unfortunately still suffering with COVID over there. So production houses are really struggling to get staff and keep things open. And of course, even if a couple people get COVID in China, they come in and they just shut the whole factory down. So everyone's out of work, which really mucks up production times. So by getting our stock in order, I guess such things can happen and we're not all affected as bad. Having said that, we're a few years on now, so I anticipate that things mightn't be as crazy now over there for this coming next Christmas. I know they certainly have settled down a lot this year, which is good because it was pretty much a trial there. So I'm liking that. There we go. So we've got a little bud flower there just with the 3, which is good. That makes a change for me. We've got our little bird in position. Might need to do a couple more leaves, I think. So that's what I'm starting to work on. Can you believe it? Ordering stock for 2023. That crazy. I haven't even seen Santa this year. How can we be thinking about Santa next year? Everyone goes, oh, everything's so early. Christmas is getting earlier and earlier every year. Well, it's not actually. It's the same every year. The media does this story, carries on like pork chops like they usually do. Everything's on a timeline. These factories that make the gear are allocated a time in their world over there to make their products. So it's like someone coming along to my craft room here and saying, Corrine, we know you like to do sewing. You can only sew between March 22nd and June 10. That's it. After that, your factory will be turned into something else. And it might be a slightly different version of Christmas, or it might be a Halloween item, or whatever it is. And even then, that's if that factory does those types of things. It might be completely shredded of all of its production, and in comes another company in that same space that might make, I don't know, buckets, for example. So it's not as simple as we all get to dictate when stock arrives and goes onto the shelf. It really comes down to what the factory does with it all. So it's very interesting, all of that. So everyone thinks that it's all getting earlier and earlier. Well, it's not actually. It all starts at the beginning of the year and comes together accordingly. There's not a lot of control over it. And then, of course, then you're at the mercies of the shipping companies, and that depends on if you can get a berth on a boat, and sometimes that can be delayed or not. So 1 year you might be getting all your gear in really early. Well, not early, let's say, we won't say early because it's not actually early, it's just on time. The next year you might be 2 weeks later because there's been a problem in the shipping world. So yeah, it's quite a challenge for all of the cogs to come together, and that's just Christmas. That would apply to so many industries. It's all the same. It's all the same. It's one big machine. And if a couple cogs fall over, it just slows everything down. And I'm only a little cog. I'm just going to pull my piece back down. I want to get some green of this. I'm trying to keep it all attached to the bobbin here, just for ease of controlling it all. And I don't want to cut it until I know I'm terminating the branch. And I just want to slip that needle up into there to bring through that thread so that it can, I need to do that differently, sorry. I'm going to try that again. I want the green to be on the top side of that branch. So I need to go under there and around and through that little gap. I could stop and start the thread, you know. I'm just trying to be a little tricky here. Okay. There we go. So that's a little bit of excess there. I'll just pull that down a little bit, that branch, because I want to give the leaf that's nearby there a bit of space. There we go. That's better. And then that can terminate there, because that little branch coming out is sort of not going to continue on anywhere, I don't think. So I'm going to snip that just with a little excess, and that line will be couched in. So let's now, I think this guy could be snipped as well, just with a bit excess. Now I want to bring this through here as well. On the underside, I think. Yeah. So I'm just going to pin that, just a rough pin. And that'll come down there. Very good. Hopefully I'll get a little bit of sewing done this week. I guess it doesn't matter. There's so much to do on this panel. I can just pick a spot, and I'm going to now apply glue to that leaf. I might actually peel that back because I don't want it to be lumpy bumpy. Just going to have that little leaf sit there, I think. And I'm going to put this big leaf here. Whoops, what did I lose? Nothing. Let me just clean the nozzle off on that glue. let's get some glue on the back of that. It's a really good way to pin everything down, especially big pieces, like it's in your hands, it's on your lap, everything's wriggling. So let's get that down first. Oh gosh, my stomach's rumbling. Haven't had breakfast. Okay. Let's get this little petal on next. This little petal on next. I hope they're all going to be in the right spot, being that I've picked them all up and fiddled here. One can only hope. I don't think it'll be too bad. Yeah. Got plenty of stitching to do now. I haven't stitched that second flower at the top. I've now got a third flower. I've got a bird. I've got random little flowers around the place. And there's our little flower in position. Okay, now let's just do a quick little tidy up because I don't want these little bits to get lost. So let's get our, because I don't think I want any more. Where was that going to go? Cut this one. Maybe in there. Yeah, I like that. I like this dark fabric. It just, I don't know, it really makes it feel like a tree. Sort of popping a little bit. Let's shimmy that little guy up in there. Then we might cut a couple lighter ones, a bit smaller, because that sort of just adds that layer. Just gonna have a sip of my coffee. That should settle the tummy. Just want a couple little petals just to put a bit of light into the place here. Because as you look at a tree, there's always dark and light petals everywhere. Not petals, leaves, as light sort of bounces around. So let's just pop that one there. Let's pick up some of these pins I've got everywhere. Could do with another one through here. So we'll just put the pin in the glue, Corrine. We can freehand these little ones. They're not too taxing on my creativity. Okay. this little guy is going to go there. Okay, I'm happy with that. Are these glued? No. So I can glue down this guy. So I hope you've all had a great week. You haven't been too crazy busy and you've managed to get into your craft rooms. Just going to get that little bit of yarn underneath there, I think. I might just put a pin just to hold it in case that moves a bit when I'm moving into the lounge room to do some sewing on this. Okay, so let's see. We've got another little leaf here. I'll just put that one like that. Oh, you could just go to town with all this. I do need to revisit the white lace, but I don't have a lot of space, to be honest, for lacy pieces. Okay, happy with that. So I might just put that glue away for a moment. Let's have a look at the lace, because I really like how that net that's around all these pieces. So I could do with a branch too for our little bird to sit on. Do I have any more of that? No, I don't. So we need to cut another bit of branch. So get rid of all these little guys. We're not using them. Doesn't mean they won't pop up somewhere, but not at the moment. This is what I like. I love how it just gives texture. I'm going to pin that over there. Sort of reminds me of lichen. Is that weird? That's what it reminds me of. Now, let's cut through here. Now this is going to form a branch for the little bird to perch on. So we'll cut out as much as we can get from this piece. Okay. Another little one there. We can take him off. He's not needed. Surplus to requirements. Now we've got to get a branch across for our little guy. We can start having the boughs coming down. That'll work out well because we've got a joint here. So I'm going to be brave and I'm going to snip it. And we're going to have our branch scooping down. Where's my pins? And he can be sitting on that branch there, like so. Okay. Some nice pieces of lace here. There's a little. I might bring that off of there. Yeah, I like that. I like that. And then we could have a couple leaves coming. Let me just slide this up a little bit. We could have a couple leaves coming down here. We've got our Morris corner happening here. So maybe we bring in some pieces of lace, all highlighting this I need some green. This will give me plenty to stitch. Let's get a leaf coming in there. Maybe another green. Bring this little guy. I'm not cutting out around my template anymore. Did you notice that? I'm figuring I surely can't get these leaves too wrong. Okay, so I might do just a little green one now on the top side of that. Just to soften under his bottom there. Yeah. I'm going to glue that one. I'm happy with him. I might as well. It's all about encasing the little bird like he's sitting within the branches of everything, like having plenty of foliage and texture coming around him. So you're like creating a little picture window for him. Does that make sense? Or her. Yeah, happy with that. So I'm going to now remove the pins for these two, and we'll put some glue on them. I hope I get some stitching done this week. I think I will. I'll need the stitching to sort of relax, because if I'm spending all day on the laptop ordering stock and thinking about what I can do, and it's sort of the creative side of my business, I find that I'm pretty worn out by the end of the night, and that's where it's hard to pick up the needle and thread. But if it's this type of work where everything is already planned out, and all I've got to do is stitch, there's a better chance of that happening. So let's have a look at his little legs. Let's give him a couple little legs. Now he needs some little feathery things coming off of his head too, doesn't he? We just got enough room to do that. That was a bit of a close call. And then we should be able to do a few little spiky things too. I can always push that up a little bit when I stitch it down to give space for that. So that shouldn't be a problem. Okay. Let's see what else we can do. Can we get any more? Can we get any more of the lace? We're sort of coming down to this bottom corner. So let me just organise myself a little better and slide this up. Let's work on this corner here. What other bits have we got? That's pretty. Have we got something that might drift along the bottom? Got this really big piece. Got some little leaves. It sort of looks like it could be joined. Especially if I do that little bit there. Oh, it looks a bit odd. Here's some little flowers. That could join into there. There we go, that's a bit better. Might bring that in a little closer. There we go. Oh, I like that. So let's pin that. Okay. So I've still got some nice elements left, plus some little bits. So there's still plenty of goodies in there for a later date. Get some pins on this. I wonder if we should grab out that piece there and finish our tree branch. I might just pin it for now, and it's got its space. Yeah, I think so. I think that will work. Okay. All right, that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. All right, guys, I think we could probably leave it at that. I bring all that down there and make it quite thick. I'm going to pin that. All right, I'm still going. Twist it just a little bit. No, I won't twist it because that's giving a completely different look to what we've done further. We need to bring some branch over here as well. So I might just piece that in there. Can't hurt. Get a pin in there would be good. Okay, I'm going to take a punt that I can cut this. I'll give it a little bit extra length just in case we need it. That should be fine. That way I don't have to wrestle with that. Okay. All right, there we go, guys. We are slowly making our way down this side here. So I've got plenty to do, plenty I can stitch. All right, I will leave you in peace. I hope you all have a great week. A little bit shorter video today, but I think that's enough of me prattling on. And I've sort of set myself up with, you know, a heap of work that I can carry on with without too much brain energy to think. And I still can come back and do some embroidery. Like, oh, there's so much to do. So it is coming together. We've got our second little bird in there. Really, really pleased. Then we can start thinking about our peacock. Let me just grab that out. I'm sure he's sitting here in amongst my templates. So we haven't done anything with the tulips, and I don't think we're going to need them. None of those tulips. Here's our peacock. Let's clear the deck here of some rubbish. Let's have a look at this guy. Oh yeah. He is going to be beautiful. He's going to sit about there. Yeah. Then some more of that lace can come through. Where's the bucket of lace? No, we're going again, guys. Yeah, look at that. I don't know if you can see that. That will work beautifully. And that's good because that'll give that tree something to finish into. Oh, couldn't have planned that any better. I'll just pin it for now. And I'll have another look at this peacock. Yeah, that will fit with slight modifications. That should fit beautifully. Oh, couldn't have planned that any better. All right, guys, I am going to go now. I can hear emails dropping into my laptop, so that means someone wants me somewhere. I've got myself plenty to stitch on with. So when I come back in the next video, it should be all stitched down, maybe a little bit of embellishing. We'll see. Who knows? No expectations being put on myself. It's just easy come, easy go. All right, thank you very much, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye for now.